None of our shame has to do with ourselves. You're just not this person that's worthy of shame. And what's been happening for me this week, I've been watching all of the coverage. This is in communities that I grew up in and I still have family in. And frankly, it's coming to my community soon. And I feel like it's been moving first through my mind and my spirit and now my body. And so I have been feeling really just jittery and unsettled. And what I'm realizing is that I started to point and really towards myself because there was not a lot that I could do to really make all of this stop. And so I started to pick at my body and just, oh, you really should do this and that. And this should be this and that. And anytime I'm doing the shoulds, it's not good. But I want to be very transparent about how it's just not that simple. Um, some of us really have to fight the long term good fight with our heads. And don't let someone else tell you that you're just not doing the right things because you would never feel that way. They're not you. I have a lot of great strategies. A lot of them are in my book, and I can't wait for it to come out because I want to read them again. But I was talking to a friend and I said, when I said shame free wellness, I don't mean that all of a sudden you're just not going to have shame anymore. I mean, these are the practices that help to free you from shame. What this means for me today is um, I've needed to connect with my body, allowing myself to feel the feeling, and then just remind myself, you don't have to have a story for this. You don't have to tie it to something. You don't have to tie it to a deficit within yourself or the world. This is just an emotion that you're experiencing in your body. And once I allow that to be possible, and I would call that just being curious about things, questioning the way that you think things are. I started to be able to like soften and breathe a bit more. Um, the second thing that I did is that I tried to be around community today. And when I'm feeling this way, I feel really awkward and it's very hard for me to communicate with people. So I try to be around people who really get me and have grace for me. And I am so grateful to God to be at a point in my life where I actually do have those people and they're very good to me. So I spent my day around people. And now that I'm back at home, I'm really just putting the pieces together. And I'm like, yeah, this is terrible. And this hurts. And there's so much more going on than you're going to understand right now. And you're not capable of processing all of this, and that's okay. So that's what the day has looked like for me. And just coming back to my body, having an acceptance of where I am now, I realize that we are unfairly presented with standards that make us feel less than. And as much as I feel mortified to tell you guys that on camera, I'm doing it because it proves a larger point. Yes, even me. I'm wearing this well, it's not a bodysuit. It's an outfit today, and it's a two-piece, and it shows my midsection. And I'm purposely wearing it to remind myself, like, this is you, and this is beautiful. And you need to expand your idea of beautiful beyond someone's limiting standards that doesn't even care about you. Um, I went through a wardrobe shift like 2 months ago, and I thought, oh, awesome. I will definitely be able, sorry, my cat's living her best life. I will definitely be able to get all of the, outfits I need for my book tour out of this. And one of the things about ADHD is that things will turn on a dime. So all of a sudden I'm like, "Ugh, I don't feel comfortable wearing these jeans that were wonderful last year. And I don't really feel my best self in a lot of this. And I really do want to wear things that make me feel more proud and special. I think I'm being called into a place of even deeper compassion now that I've ever been before. And it's like, even if everything isn't the way you want it to be, you are more than enough. And this is already good. And that comes back full circle to how I'm presenting myself in the world. I have been super, super, super nervous about putting myself out to media and podcasts. I want to reach out to media because my spirit is being led to say there's something valuable about what you have in your book to encourage people at this time, and it's been written for such a time as this. And how will I make that connection if I'm so afraid that I don't reach out? Um, I want to reach out to TV shows, and I've heard so much discouragement, kind of like, oh, well, you're not a known entity, so that may not work out for you. At first, that didn't bother me. And I'm like, oh, you don't know. I'm going to put myself out there and it's going to be okay. And I think that because life is just hard sometimes, those limiting beliefs have really seeped in. And now I'm like, you've got to at least try. And I want to do this in a way that is like calibrated for my nervous system. So I'm not going to just put myself out there and say, guys, make sure I do this and that, because I don't want to bully myself. I want to grow. I want to expand. I want to get up in the morning and take walks. I want to connect with people that I know in my local community and get to know other people, because I really need to be in community right now. And that seems to be the best way, by the way, to spread the word about my book, because when people get to talk to me and hear about, what shame-free wellness means for them, what it means to learn how to navigate the hustle, to find flow even when you feel stuck, and to learn to let go of some of the things that are holding us back. I mean, they're like, "Hey, I will buy your book right now." And, so I need to get out there, but I really do need to walk, because I am proud of how hard I've worked this year on strength training, and I want to continue to feel better in my body. Um, so I think that's about it for now. I, just wanted to start being more transparent about my goals. I was at lunch today, and someone reminded me that tonight is the supermoon. So I plan to sit and write some intentions. And I did this in September, and it was so powerful. And like all of my intentions came true. So I want to do that again. Um, I'm a big believer in expressing an intention that is aligned with your values, and then following through with dedicated action that is consistent, not perfect, and starting with really small steps. Those are all the things that I talk about in my book. So that's what I'm going to apply in my own life. And I think it's just going to continue to be this very meta journey of me telling you about things that I have written in the book based on my past experiences, and how I'm planting that into my life, because this really is an ongoing journey of self discovery. I didn't want to write the book where people were like, hey, I learned your 10 steps and now my life is perfect, because they were actually going to make me feel bad. I was going to go to like book signings and feel like a jerk and, a liar and a fraud. But I said, no, I want the person that's going to come to my book signing and they're like sniffling and holding back tears. And they're just like, you get me. And I'm like, me too. Like, I want to cry with y'all, because I want us to break free. And this is a very heady time. And a lot of us are going to be broken in good and bad ways. And I want us to heal in community. And that is really the vibe of my book, is like, inclusive wellness, the individual and the collective, addressing the systems as well as our own characteristics and lived experiences to create something that is really for us. So, thank you for your time. I'm going to just continue to be brave and put myself on here. My goal is to be just honest with you all, because I know that when I speak from the heart, typically that is when someone else is able to hear what they need for themselves. So, thank you. If you want to learn more about my book, it's called Hustle, Flow, or Let It Go, A Guide to Shame-Free Wellness That Honors Your Reality and Gives You Life. And you can look at the link in my bio to find out information if you would like to pre-order. It's available now for pre-order. And I also have a free excerpt if you would like to read the letter to the reader and the introduction on PortiaPreston.com. Thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. If you have come this far, please just share your thoughts with me. If you don't feel comfortable dropping them below, send them to me. I really just want to know that this is landing and connecting with someone, and have an idea of like, what do we need to move forward? How are we getting through this time? Thank you. Bye.